welcome to Schoolonair. I will be taking your basic science, and today's topic is safety first aid. Introduction. First aid is the skill application of accepted principle of medicine at the place of an incident using any materials available at that particular time. This is the approved method of treating a casualty until he or she is placed in the care of a medical doctor. It is the proper treatment to be given to a casualty to sustain his life, prevent his or her condition from becoming worse, and to stabilize his or her recovery at that critical period. Therefore, first aid box is a must for every workshop, and the student must be properly educated on the first aid and the first aid materials in case of an accident. Now, what are the objectives of this first aid? To explain the meaning of first aid, identify the contents of a first aid box, apply first aid measure, discuss the ABCs of first aids, apply the ABCs of first aids to number 1, the victim of common workshop accidents, 2, road accident victim. Am I communicating? Now, let's go to the meaning of first aid and its principle. First aid can simply be explained as an immediate but temporary medical aid which is given to a person who is injured or fall sick to alleviate and stabilize his condition until the service of a doctor can be obtained. So the person that gives first aid treatment is called a first aider. How can we now apply this first aid measure? Number 1, you do first things quickly, quietly, and without panic. 2, make sure that you stop bleeding if there is any. In case of accident, if there happens to be bleeding on the victim, you first stop the bleeding. Am I communicating? Look at all possible injuries and determine whether they are internal, external, or both. In some cases, the accident may give internal bleeding, some may lead to external bleeding, while some will lead to both internal and external bleeding. Now, number 4, provision of fresh air. You remove the tie, you loosen the belt, you remove shoes of that victim unless he is an epileptic fellow. Number 5, give artificial respiration. That means you put your mouth into the mouth of that victim in order to gain his or her breath back. If breathing has a stop. Now, number 6, remove the patient from the point of injury so as to avoid those that will be telling you, this thing, how are you going to make it? You just take that person out of that particular point. Number 7, make use of improvisation materials in bleeding cases. You can use your handkerchief, your hair tie, or your ties in order to tie that area so that bleeding will not continue. Number 8, where the injury is extensive, do not allow casualty to see it. If that patient should see the bleeding, that patient will be panic, and all the treatment you are going to give to the person, such individual will not be ready to have it. And in case if that person cooperates with you, it will not work out. Now, number 9, you should be in control of yourself and do not panic. You that you are taking care of a victim, you must not be panic. You compose yourself. Number 10, do not remove clothing unnecessarily. It's only if you need to do that you should do it. Do you understand? Number 11, you get others to help you if need be. In case you want to carry a victim of accident, you need someone to help you in carrying such individual because it's not easy for you to carry that person at that point. Peradventure, your own capacity cannot carry the person. Now, number 11, get others to help you if need to. 12, you reassure the casualty of his or her safety in order to lessen his or her anxiety or fear. You tell the casualty, don't worry, you'll be fine. There won't be problem.